Hello guys, welcome back to Coding Cafe. My name is Mohammed Ali and in this video we will complete the settings activity finally so that a user can edit and update his account information. So let's come here to the Android Studio, and here first of all we need to define and initialize our text view and edit text. So first of all we have a circle image view for getting the profile image of user, so we can give it a name as profile image view button, which will basically update the account information of a user. Now let's cast the field here. So for the profile image we can say the ID of the circle image view is settings profile image. So copy this ID and let's paste that here. After that we have edit text, so we can say full name edit text. ID for the full name edit text is settings full name, and let's change this now quickly. And user phone text, so ID is settings phone number, and this phone number is for the order, I mean on which number the user want to receive the order, or you can say purchase the products. Okay, so this is user phone edit text settings phone number, and then we have address. For the address we have settings address. Next one is the profile change text view button, so you can set text view r.id dot, and the ID for this is profile image change. Let's give ID to it, and now let's copy paste this for the remaining ones, which is the close button, then save text button, and the ID for this two are for close. We have close settings button, and then we have update. So yeah, that's it. So here we are going to call a method which we will create now, which is user info display. We need to pass the circle image view, which is our profile image view, comma, full name edit text, comma, user phone edit text, comma, address edit text. And now let's create this method. This is the method. So here we need to create a database reference to the user node for the specific user who is logged in. So we can say user ref firebase database dot child, and the child is our user's node dot child, and we are searching for the specific user who is logged in, and in this case we are using the phone number as a parent node ID. We can say prevalent dot current online user dot get phone. So this is our reference. Then we can say users ref dot add value event listener. Make sure to put a semicolon here first, and now in here we can first check if data snapshot dot exist, which means that is if that phone number exists, or you can say if that user exists. Okay, because we are storing the information of a user in the database for each user by their unique phone number. So if that exists, then we are going to check. First let me tell you, if you go to the model class, then in our database now we have only these three childs under the phone parent node, which is the name, phone, and password. Okay, since we have not there is no child by the name image, which will contain the profile image of a user, so we have to add a validation for that. Okay, so under this we can simply say if data snapshot dot child, and we are going to search for the image first. If there is a child image, then we will write the code, otherwise not. Okay, so we say if image exists, then we will fetch and display the information of a user on the settings activity. So yeah, we can simply say string image, which will retrieve the image. Now we will also modify our model class, but first let's do this step. This is important. Dot child image dot get value dot to string, and let's copy paste this. The second one is the name, third one is the password. So you can say simply say pass, which means password, and then address. Also change this to name, password, and make sure to use the same names which are in our firebase database. If I show you, then I am talking about this. Okay, name, password, and phone. Now for now, I mean the image and the address is not available here, but we will, that's why we will modify our model class now to for that. So image name, password, and then address. And after that we have to display it, so we can say sorry Picasso get dot load image dot into our profile image view. So we can simply pass that here. Then we have the full name edit text dot set text to name. Then we have the pass, let me check it, it is by the name, user phone, and address. User phone edit text dot set text to this, change this pass to phone. Okay, we want to retrieve the phone number and not the password. But if you want to allow a user to change the password from the settings, then also you can add a field for showing the password and allow the user to edit and update his password. Okay, but I'm not going to do that. If you want, you can do just add a edit text here for that, and then do exactly the same which we are doing for the name, phone, and address. I hope you understand this. So it is by the name phone. So yeah, phone, and then we have address, so we can simply pass the phone to it and pass address to it. Now also let's go to the users model class. We have name, phone, password, then we have image now, which we will store now, and then address. Remove the constructed parameter and also these getter and setter. Now we have to add for all of these, so you can say generate constructor, select all these, click OK, and now the getter and setter for all of these. So yeah, that's it. Now the next thing is to allow a user to do changes. So let's do that. First of all, here I'm going to define the URI. Press Alt Enter and import this URI class. We can give it a name as image URI, and we need a private string my URL, in which we will store the image URL after we upload the profile picture to the Firebase storage. Then private storage reference, let's give it a name as storage profile picture reference. A string variable which we need equals to null. So first of all, inside this on create, if a user click on the close button, then we can say close text button dot set on ClickListener, new on ClickListener, and here we can simply say finish, and if the user click on the save button, which is basically our update button on the settings activity, set on click listener, new on click listener. So here we can say if checker dot equals to clicked. Now I will explain these things once I complete it below. I mean, first let me write that. Okay, so if that button is clicked, then we are going to simply call a method which is user info saved. Otherwise, we can just only update only user info method. Now both of these methods we will create now. First of all, let's create this one, which is user info saved settings activity, which is our this method. Now before we start work on that, the important thing is when the user click on this change profile text view button, we have to allow the user to we have to send the user to his mobile phone gallery. So also let's set a click listener on that once the user picks some image. So you can say profile image profile change text button dot set on click listener, new on click listener. Now here we need to specify our we have to assign value to our this checker string type variable, which is clicked. Now what it means basically, if a user click on this text button on the settings activity, we assign this checked clicked value to it, which is basically this one. Okay, so it will execute this thing, and it will call this method, which is user info saved. I will also explain it completely at the end when we finish this. Okay, when we write the code here, or let me explain now first. Then you will understand it automatically. Now here, when a user click this button, which is the profile change text button, we are give this value to the string type variable, and in this method basically we will allow a user to update the whole information of the settings activity, that is the profile image, the name, full name, and all these things. Okay, but what if a user has already set the picture? Okay, let's say the picture is already set and the user just want to set the phone number and all these text information, that is address, full name, and phone number, and not the profile picture. So if a user click on the update button, then in that case we will then execute this method, which is only update only user info. So that's why I use the checker variable for that, which specify that the user has clicked, the user want to change the profile picture too. Okay, so that's why. I hope it makes sense. So here we will add a crop image feature. So we will be using the Arthur Hub library. So this link will be available in the description, and you can simply click on that and it will redirect you to this Arthur Hub Android image cropper. And come down here, and here you can see it will work like that. So the most important thing, first of all, we need to copy this activity, okay, under this using activity. So copy this thing from here, Control C, go to the Android Studio, and first of all come here, Android manifest.xml, and here after this we can simply paste that. And the next thing is copy this dependency, okay, which is com theart of div and this Android image cropper. Copy this from here, go to Android Studio, and here in the build.gradle module app, paste that library here, and make sure to change this API with implementation. Now click on this sync now and wait for it. And you can see if we use this 2.8 version, then it basically shows this error, which is check logs for detail, and here it is saying that is v28.xml. So change this 2.8 to 2.7 and let's sync now again. And now you can see that the build is completed successfully. Now the reason for the 2.8 version is that 2.8 is the new latest version which contains some errors. Okay, so because of that we are getting errors, so that's why we change it back to 2.7. so now it will work perfectly. So now next thing is here on our Android manifest we have added this activity. Now the next thing is to add the permissions. So come here to this and you can see here add permission to manifest. Copy both of these read and write permissions, go to the Android Studio and paste that here. So that's it. Now come back and from here you can simply copy this crop image.activity image URI start this. Copy this and let's paste that here. Press Alt Enter and import this crop image class, and the context is setting activity dot this, and let's add the set aspect ratio 1:1. And now once it will basically open the gallery. Now once user select an image from his mobile phone gallery, we have to get the result, or you can say that we have to get that image. So after that I'm going to add another method which is our on activity result, and in here if request code becomes equals to crop image activity request code, and the result code is equals to result OK, and if the data is not null, then we can get the crop image activity result. So you can say crop image dot activity result equals to crop image dot get activity result data. Now we have to store this result, which is basically our image URI, in the variable which we created at the top, which is of URI type by the name image URI. So you can say result dot get URI. We have to display it on the image view also, so that a user can see which image he has selected. So we can say profile image view dot set image URI. Otherwise, if the image has not selected, or if in case of any error, we can just display a toast message. We can tell the user error, try again, and we can start the activity. We are just refreshing the settings activity, so we can say settings activity dot this and settings activity dot class. Finish. And now as the image URI is stored inside this image URI variable, now the next thing is to store the image and also the user information, that is address, profile, image, etc. So in here we can say if text utils.isEmpty full name and text dot get text dot to string. So if this is empty, we can just tell the user that is name is mandatory. The same we will do for the remaining ones. So copy this. We can say else if We have address, edit text, and here we can say address, else if user phone, edit text. And we have also to check our checker variable, so we can say else if checker dot equals to clicked. So if this is clicked, it means that the image has already been selected, which is stored inside the image URI variable. All we're going to need is to store this information, which is our full name, edit text, address, etc., and the image also. So here we can simply call another method which we will create now, which is image upload or upload image. So let's create this method, and in here let's create a progress dialog. So this is the progress dialog, and now after that we can say here we need to confirm that is the image URI is not equals to null. So if it is not equals to null, then here we can say final storage reference, file reference, and we have to pass our storage profile picture reference dot child prevalent dot current online user dot get phone. Now this is this phone number is basically the image name. Okay, so whenever the user want to replace, or you can say update his profile picture, then his previous image will be deleted from the storage, and it will be updated with the new one. So the type of this image will be .jpg semicolon. Now we have to put the path, so we need to add a storage task, which is here we can say private storage task, and we can give it a name as upload task. So here we can say upload task equals to file reference dot put file, which is our image URI. Now it will save the file to the storage. Now we have to get the result of this upload task, so you can say upload task dot continue with task new continuation, and make sure to put a semicolon here, and in here we can tell the user in case if the task is not successful. So you can say if task not successful, we can just throw the exception by using this task dot get exception. We can say task dot get exception, and then return here the file reference dot get download URL. Now we have to get the URL, and we will store it inside the Firebase database. So here before this semicolon you can simply type dot add on complete listener new on complete listener, and here if task is successful, URI download, let's give it a name as download URL equals task dot get result. So here it is returning the get download URL, and we are getting the result of that, or you can say that URL, and we are storing it here. Here you can see inside this on complete, after this task we can put this angle braces, and you can simply type here URI, and also put that same thing here, two angle braces URI. Now we have to convert this download URL, which is of type URI. So we have a variable which we declare at the top by the name my URL, and we can say download URL dot to string. Now we have to store it inside the user node for that specific user. So we can say database reference equals to users. We will be using hash map because we have a lot of data. String comma object. So let's put the data quickly. User map dot put. First one we have name, full name, edit text dot get text dot to string. Let's copy paste this quickly. Second one is address, and then we have a phone order. I mean the phone on which the user want to receive the order, on which we will basically call that. Let's say a company will call that person. And then we have the image. The image is stored inside the link, basically stored inside the my URL variable, and it is phone edit text. This one is address edit text. After that we have to dismiss the progress dialog, and we can start the activity and send the user to the main activity. If you want, you can also display a toast message to the user, that is profile info updated successfully, or you can say account information, whatever you like, this is your choice, and then type finish. In case of any error, we can display a toast message, so you can say else, let's say error, and dismiss the progress dialog. And after that, here you can see this is our add-on complete listener. So if you want to get the result in case of failure, then you can also add here add-on failure listener, but this is totally up to you, whatever you like. Okay, so here you can see this is our if statement. So all we're gonna need is here we can simply say else, and we can tell the user that is image is not selected. So yeah, that's it for our this method, which is our user info saved and the upload image, which is basically together we have complete this. Now the last thing which is left is update only user info. That is, if the user has if the profile image is already updated and the user just want to update the text information, that is address, phone number, etc. So let's create this method first, and inside this method, come here to the upload image method. Here we have used this thing which is database reference, and then we have this hash map. So copy this from this database up to this finish, Control C, and come here to this method and paste that code here. Now remove this progress dialog from here, and also this image, because in this case we are not updating the image, and the rest of the thing will be same. And one thing which we also forget to do is here inside the upload image we have to add this data in the database. So here we can simply say ref dot child, which will be our prevalent dot current online user dot get phone dot update children with the user map. Make sure to put a semicolon here, and also copy this line of code, copy it, and let's paste that same here at inside our update only user info. So paste that here. Now everything is okay, and now let's test the app. So our app is running now successfully, and one thing which I forgot is that here on the home activity. Okay, come here and let's go to the home activity. Here we need to display the image also. So here after this username text view, after that we can say Picasso dot get dot load prevalent dot current online user dot get image dot into profile image view. And in case if it is loading, then we have to add a placeholder. So you can say r dot drawable dot profile. Now let's run the app. So our app is running now successfully. Now let's go to the settings activity, and this is our activity. Now here you can see it is not retrieving the phone number, full name and address, and I hope you remember that I already told you, because these are the old user, and here the name, password and phone only exist for that user. So once the user update this information, I mean that is the profile image and these things, because we have add that is if the profile image exists, then we will retrieve the data, the previous data, and display it here. Let me change it, then you will understand it. So let's say I'm going to select this image. And now we have to crop the image, so let's crop this. So click crop, and you can see the image display here. Now let's type the phone number, let's say. Now let's click on the update button, and it says unfortunately it is stop, and we got an error here. So we have to check the logcat for that, and here it says attempt to invoke virtual. Now basically we forgot to write the storage profile reference, okay, which we define here at the top. If I show you, which is this one, we have not specified the storage reference, which will be a reference to the folder in the storage, firebase storage, that will be by the name profile pictures, I mean, which we want to create. So here we can say firebase store dot get instance dot get reference dot child, and it will be by the name profile pictures. That's it. Now let's run the app again. So the app is running now successfully. And now let's go to the settings activity, and this time it will work perfectly. So let's choose this picture. So let's crop this. Crop. And let me write the phone number. Washington DC, Street 124, USA. Now let's update this. Please wait while we are updating your account information. Also keep your eyes here, okay? So you can see this, it is working perfectly. Profile info updated successfully, and here you can see the changes. And if I show you this thing, you can see the profile image appears here successfully. Now if I go back to the settings activity, here you can see it update all the previous information from the database now, because now the image exists. So that's why it's retrieve all the data here on the settings activity. Now let's say I'm not going to change the profile picture now, and for now I'm just going to change this text information, that is the phone number and these things. So let's say I'm going to type any phone number, let's say this one, okay, and I'm going to change the name to Peter, let's say Peterson. And now I'm going to click on update. So here we go, you can see this. I mean, this is amazing, this is incredible. So it is working fine, I mean perfect, this is incredible. So yeah, that's it for this video, and see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.